Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So today we are discussing more fallout from the Will Smith slapping of Chris Rock nearly 2 weeks ago at the Oscars. And he might be suing or ponying up to see which network is going to give him the exclusive, because he told the audience on a latest tour stop of his comedy tour that he's not saying anything about the slap until he gets some dough, until he gets some moolah, until he gets some money. So according to TMZ, it says the following. It says that Chris Rock won't talk Oscar slap until he, quote, gets paid. He has said a smidge of light how he feels about Will Smith slapping him at the Oscars, but says he won't reveal more until he receives one thing, cold hard cash. The comedian told a live audience Friday that he would not be talking about the Oscars until he was compensated, presumably meaning somebody ponying up for his exclusive account. This, according to a report from Palm Springs Desert Sun, which detailed set in Indio, California. The material references Chris continues his national comedy tour. Here's what Chris reportedly said in full. I'm okay. I have a whole show. I'm not going to talk about that until I get paid. Life is good. I've got my hearing back. The strange thing, if Chris means that he's waiting on a network or some sort to pay for him to sit down, you gotta imagine he and his team have already been approached by every broadcast company in the game at this point. Maybe they just haven't offered enough. Of course, another slightly more sinister way to interpret his remarks perhaps is he's talking about a civil suit against Will himself where he could potentially get paid that way too. Or he might just be joshing altogether. It's unclear how serious his comment is, but considering the context, Chris seems to be in good spirits and carrying on. And in the case, Desert Sun has more deets about what's in Chris' set, and it's interesting. They say he took a shot at celebs and politicians, including Hillary Clinton, the Kardashians, Meghan Markle, and others. He also reportedly made fun of corporations and their diversity initiatives, while also involving his family life and being single and cancel culture as it relates to offending people these days. Also, he discussed, all these things and got a standing ovation, according to the Desert Sun. It does seem Chris is opening up more and more as his tour rolls on. Remember the initial shows out on the East Coast? All he said was he was still processing the smack. Now it appears he is finding some humor in the whole thing, or just masking how he really feels with his comedy chops. Time will tell if and when Chris speaks on this officially. In the meantime, Hollywood is still very divided on Will's punishment, aka the 10-year ban from the Academy, which only applies to his attendance and has nothing to do with his eligibility for awards, you guys. So, react, you guys. What do you guys think about this? I always felt that either he was going to, the first thought that I had was he was going to leverage this to try to get the Dave Chappelle Netflix money. That was like the first thing that I thought when Chris Rock chose not to say anything. That he wants that Netflix deal. That he wants, at least $20 million to tell his story or try to work out and negotiate some comedy specials or some type of deal, like I said, that Dave Chappelle has with Netflix. I always felt that from the beginning, that he was trying to leverage that. So stay tuned. I don't know whether or not he's going to, file a civil suit against Will Smith or not, for the slap. The one thing that would be very interesting is if he were to go that route. I wouldn't count Will Smith out necessarily, because there's plenty of receipts in Chris Rock's comedy going after the Smith family and Jada. So that could get very interesting if he goes the civil suit route. I think he's personally trying to get the Netflix money. That's what I just personally think. I think he wants to do a tell-all on this slap comedy to where he is laying it out once and for all. Probably won't acknowledge Jada by name, but will acknowledge Will and the situation by name and just go on a drag fest for 90 minutes. But I think he is waiting for the right network or, like I said, streaming service like a Netflix, like an Amazon Prime, like a Hulu to pony up the millions for him to say his truth. So we will stay tuned on that. Because like I said, now if he's going to go the route of suing the Academy, I think that's a better option because they would be held liable for putting him in a compromising position, as well as they have the authority to remove Will Smith from the venue and chose not to. You shouldn't have to ask the victim whether or not they want somebody who just slapped them if they want them to leave. Or be, asked by LAPD. The CEO and the president of the Academy should have took the initiative and had Will Smith removed right then and there. They shouldn't have put Chris Rock in that position. So I think that would be the smarter approach, to sue the Academy for everything. Because notice in the Academy's statement yesterday when they announced Will Smith's 10-year ban that they wanted to also apologize to Chris Rock. I think he has a bigger case against the Academy compared to Will Smith. To be honest with you, I think he can get way more money from the Academy compared to Will Smith, because the issue that could come up with Will Smith, especially in discovery, especially during depositions, is all the receipts of, things that Chris Rock has said in the past about Will Smith and his family and Jada Pinkett, and basically he can go with the argument, hey, I couldn't take it anymore, or what have you. Not excusing the slap, not excusing the lack of judgment and lapse of judgment of, doing that, but I think Chris Rock, just from a legal perspective, would be better off going after the Academy. Not saying that he would lose against Will Smith, but as far as compensation goes, I feel like he could get compensated way more from the Academy, right? And they would likely want to settle because that would expose all of the behind the scenes drama, right? Because remember, they kept trying to get in front of everything by lying to the public about what really took place, and gave those blanket statements at first, and then tried to scapegoat Will Packard, then tried to scapegoat Will Smith, and then ultimately Will Smith's people came out and said none of that's true that took place. So this is going to heat up, you guys. I cannot wait to see what happens. This could get very, very, very interesting. But if I'm Chris Rock, I want my Dave Chappelle type of Netflix deal, to where I'm devoting at least one special to specifically discuss and articulate the slap from beginning to end, his thought process and everything else, his relationship with Will Smith and Jada over the past couple of decades, and everything else that has taken place, for 90 minutes to get paid in the millions for his exclusive on that. Because that will live on and on and on forever, right? And then I would personally sue the Academy for damages, for holding them liable, for not to do anything after, Will Smith slapping him, taking no immediate action, right? And then asking him what he wants to do when it's their venue, when it's their Academy Awards broadcast. They have the authority to have, Will Smith removed. They have the authority to have Will Smith arrested if they really wanted to. They had all of those resources right then and there, and chose ultimately to do nothing because they knew he was winning Best Actor and they wanted to capture the moment for the cameras. And felt that as long as Will Smith apologized in his speech, and that's probably what they told his reps, that it would all be good and they would figure out the PR fallout later. And that, and by the way, Will Smith, don't do any press of the post-show interviews. Just go straight to the Oscars parties, after parties, or go home. So this could get very interesting, you guys. What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you guys think that Chris Rock is waiting for a deal, waiting for a Netflix deal of some sort that's in the millions to tell his story? Do you think that he is going to sue Will Smith and or the Academy? Or do you think he's just going to sue solely Will Smith in a civil suit, or solely the Academy in a civil suit as well? What do you guys think is going to happen? The only thing, though, with the lawsuit is that could also potentially delay him doing a comedy, tour or comedy special addressing that, if specifically in the deposition, in the evidence, is really going to all pertain to that slap, as well as anything Chris Rock has previously said in the past, right? about Will Smith and his family. So that could delay him from doing a special until that lawsuit is done, because all of that's going to be, perceived as evidence, right? So that's why I think he's more so waiting on the Netflix deal, or what he may do is wait for, some type of big multi-million-dollar deal to do the special, then speak his truth, and then file the suit after the fact. So then that way, that also can be used as part of his arguments on how he articulated how he felt about the whole situation and how he felt about how the Academy hadn't handled things or didn't handle things, right? So this could get very, 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 very interesting as time goes on. So I am curious to see what ultimately is going to be the outcome of that, and I cannot wait. So that will be very, very interesting. So that is it, you guys. That is all the thoughts that I have on this latest update. Like I said, this is not going to be going away anytime soon. If anything, things are just starting to heat up, you guys. They are just starting to heat up. We are just now about to, crack the code. We are just now, surfacing the crevices and getting to the nitty gritty, you guys. So with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts on this. What do you guys feel about this latest update on Chris Rock? And I always knew he was waiting to get paid. That's the smart approach to take this, right? Whether it's a Netflix deal, whether it's a lawsuit, whether it's both. That is the smart approach, so that way people can't screen record and, then sell all of your sound bites to all the blogs and everything else, whereas everybody else is making coin off of this but you, right? Whereas you can determine how you're going to talk about this, when you're going to talk about this, the way you're going to talk about this under a contract worth millions. So props to Chris Rock for waiting it out in that way to approach it that way. So we'll ultimately see if that also includes lawsuits or just the TV special that he's waiting to do. All right, so let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.